the darkest winter of the north, the sun had not risen for weeks. The sky had descended like a black veil, and even the stars seemed frozen in place. Yet, even in this darkness, one village managed to survive: Midnight Hold. It took its name from a single flame that burned even in the deepest hour of night. That flame was a sword. The sword stood upon a stone pedestal in the center of the village. Its handle was silver, its grip was bone, and its blade was made of black steel. No one could touch it, because whoever did, their hand would burn. But every night the sword ignited on its own with a blue flame, and that flame pushed the darkness back, just a little. 3 siblings lived in the village: Sigrid, Ragnar, and little Era. Sigrid was 20 years old, a shield bearer with long red hair and eyes as dark as coal. Ragnar was 18, broad-shouldered, always smiling, with his axe resting on his back. Ira was 12, thin and fragile, with hair as white as snow and eyes the color of the night. Their mother had disappeared years ago in a storm, and their father was the man who forged the sword. Their father, the blacksmith Ulf, had died one night while working in his forge. But before he died, he left his final words to his children: "Hide the sword. When the darkness returns, it will find you, and do not let it die, because when it fades, the village fades with it." Years passed. The darkness grew deeper with every winter. Torches went out. Famine came and food became scarce. One night, for the first time, the sword trembled. The blue flame flickered and then went out. The village was swallowed by darkness. Children cried, adults prayed. But it did not work. Not the tears, not the begging, not the sacrifices. Because the darkness was no longer coming from outside. It was coming from within. Sigrid, Ragnar, and Eira gathered in the square at midnight. The sword was completely dark. Its flame was gone. Cold. Silent. Ira touched it. It did not burn her. She lifted the sword, and it ignited again. But this time, the flame was red. The sword suddenly burst into red flames, stretching toward the forest surrounding the village. The trees burned, but did not turn to ash. They came alive. Branches moved, roots rose from the ground, and from deep within the forest, a voice spoke. "My children, you have awakened me, but there is a price." The voice was their father's, but it was not their father. Ulf's spirit had been bound to the sword. The blade was made to tear the darkness apart, but when the darkness is torn, the sword will be gone, and so will the one who holds it. Sigrid asked, "What do you want from us?" The voice answered, "To defeat the darkness, you must accept it. One will carry fire, one will carry ice, one will carry shadow. If the 3 of you become one, the village will be saved, but one of you will remain." Ragnar laughed. "I will stay," he said. "I always stay." But Era cried, "No, we will stay together." The sword trembled again. Red flames rose higher. The 3 siblings held the sword together. Sigrid's hand turned to ice. Ragnar's hand turned to fire. Era's hand turned to shadow. They felt no pain, because they were holding each other. Darkness was coming from the forest, and within that darkness there was something. a creature darker than the night itself. It swallowed the entire village, but Ulf's spirit burst out of the sword. Blue, red, and black light merged. The creature in the darkness tried to enter the village, but the light from the sword burned it like torment. Chains wrapped around the creature's arms and pushed it back into the darkness. For the first time in a long time, stars appeared in the sky above the village. When morning came, the village was still there. The snow had melted, but the sword was gone. The stone pedestal was empty, and the 3 siblings were gone. The villagers searched for them, but they found only one thing: a tree in the forest. Its leaves burned with blue flame, its branches glowed with red fire, and its trunk was covered in shadow. The villagers understood. The 3 siblings had saved the sword, but they had sacrificed themselves. And now they were the new flame of the village. From that day on, the village had a new name: the Hold of 3 Flames. And every winter, the villagers went into the forest and sat before that tree, because their father, their children, and their siblings were now there, forever, within fire, ice, and shadow. And the darkness never returned, because the darkness was no longer feared, because the darkness was no longer alone.